Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let's get it.
Yo, this is about to really hurt some people's feelings. So if you a little sensitive, you might as well turn this joint off right now. Okay? How you afraid to drop a dime when you already dropped a dime? Got a wife at home, but you steady on my line. Talking about shorty, you remember when I grind slow? Did I really blow your mind though? Nah, you got me confused with your other booze. I've been peep game, so I never gave a cookie up. And that's why I got your wife on the line, man. And I hope she gets every single diamond ring. Niggas kill me, they put their fist up. Got you all thinking that they meant other people.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Saturday, so that means you get a new episode of TK's Chronicles of a Black Sheep podcast. I am your humble host, TK the Black Sheep. I also have... Why every time? Anyway, so I do have my co-host on with me. I have DW on with me right now. And my fellow co-host, Nika Pinks, will join us in a few...
She on CPT.
Yeah, she on Black Folks Time today. I wasn't gonna bust her out, but since he did it, I'm gonna just go on and yeah. So yeah, she on Black Folks Time today. So we gonna give her a pass. Yeah, I ain't gonna say she doing the Lord's work, but she doing work. So we just go.
Hey, everybody know that's a lie.
Ooh, she gonna get you.
Everybody was like, please.
She gonna get you. Wait till she
ain't paying attention right now.
That's right now. But when she see it,
well, she be all right.
Yeah, she gonna get you.
We can edit that part out.
We ain't doing no editing. You was Billy Badass when you said it. I'm gonna need you to be Billy Badass when it go down. Yeah.
So we have company, so we can't act like that
right now. We do. But you act up every time we have company.
We have company
showing out
all the time. He never act right. He that kid that stayed in the room that the parents never let out when company came over because they knew he wasn't gonna act right. That's him.
Go play your game, okay?
And you thought that was a benefit. It was actually a benefit for them, not for you.
I know. Hey, that's cool.
Be like that sometimes. Be like, I can relate. I probably was that child too.
See,
probably was that child too.
There it is.
Oh my goodness! Oh Jesus! Well, you have definitely made that little turn. So we gonna go there. So tonight, it just brings me much honor to have this person on with us tonight because she is super awesome and amazing. So tonight. We got Derek. Hey, Derek. I was just going to say your name. I actually met her through Derek. And we had him on, of course, last week for Back to the Basics on Dating. So this week, we're going to step it up because this is all something we need to work on.
Hello,
so, of course, our topic tonight is healing childhood trauma. And we have no other than our guest tonight is a certified trauma coach. Yes. And tonight we have Miss Felicia on with us tonight.
Hello. Well, I already feel like y'all family, so I'm just gonna say, hey family.
How y'all
doing? Thank you for having me, TK. I love it. I'm already enjoying it. I'm excited for tonight because I feel like it's about to get real deep. Conversations about to get real heavy and stuff and set some people free.
Man, yes. It's
all right. Wait. Before we go any further, you know I gotta do it. Capo, who this woman?
Oh Lord. So yes, Lord. I feel like I cry more on my podcast than I cry anywhere. Y'all be making me look be a punk on live, but we're gonna work through it. So Felicia, can you please introduce yourself?
So as our lovely host said, I am Felicia Johnson and I am a certified trauma recovery coach. I'm a certified trauma recovery coach, not because it was just something trending that was happening. It was really because of my own story of overcoming being sexually abused, physically abused at a very young age, then placed in the foster care system, growing up with that, not trusting people, not trusting the world, having, you know, that Lil Wayne song that drop the world and pick it up and drop it on the head. I ain't gonna do all the
Yeah.
cussing, but yeah. Well, I had the definition. Like I think I had the original definition of bump the world because I didn't care
Yeah.
about anything growing up. So it was just going from group home to group home, foster home to foster home, detention center to detention center. And it was really to that moment where life was just toxic. At a very young age, like I started drugs at a very young age, smoking weed probably at the age of 12, um, drinking at a very young age. Yes. And so life just began to go out of spiral because I was looking for love in all the wrong places. Because I thought
Mm.
I found love, but didn't really find it. All I found was more pain and more drama, or you could say trauma. And so um, at 16 years old, I thought I found the love of my life, my high school sweetheart at that time. And I ended up getting married at 16. Got married at 16. Yeah, Got married at 16. And I found myself that because I didn't know love, I didn't know what a family looked like, I didn't know nothing about nothing, it just brought more pain to what I was already going through. And it's not until you can say I had that like aha moment when I was looking down at my two girls and I was like, I got to change my life. Like, if I don't begin to change, like my trauma and what I've gone through is going to impact their lives. And that was something that I didn't want. And so that's when I began my healing journey. And you have Felicia Johnson today.
Yay.
Do you go by Felicia or Fifi or Elf Dot Carter or something?
Fifi is a dog name.
Oh shit, I didn't know.
D, really?
No,
I didn't know Fifi was a dog name.
Felicia.
It is. You ain't never heard dogs been called. Come here, Fifi.
I never.
I know women that. Lord help me. Okay, it's Sunday.
No.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, we gonna stick with Felicia. We not. See, even Nika Pinks is in the comments. She said, shaking my head at Fifi.
What shit? Hey.
I
We ain't
always
gonna
wanted a nickname, but like I never
See?
got a nickname. Like
Not
my nickname
Fifi.
was always Fighting Felicia. Was Fighting Felicia.
Yeah, we don't want that nickname.
That's a movie title.
I grew up with that, and I'm
That's a
like,
Tyler
I
Perry
don't want
movie.
that nickname. I don't want that nickname. So
Oh, okay.
I got to
That's
change
it.
that, but I never got a nickname.
We're gonna have to find you a nickname because you family now. So we're gonna have to get you a nickname, but it will not be Fifi.
Fabulous Felicia.
Huh?
Fabulous.
No, you didn't.
Oh, gee. And you sure you didn't have pancakes?
I ain't had nothing. I went on like a 2-mile walk and was taking pictures. I got a new camera I'm trying to figure out. So I was taking pictures. They all came out blank. So I don't know what I was doing.
You know there's
Hey.
a saying called "Stay in your lane."
You come on now. You know how I drive. I don't stay in my goddamn lane. What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, and you drive past the speed limit. Yes.
Hello. I live on the edge. So hello.
And Nika Pink said that's prison stuff. And Marcy said, "Really, Duriel?"
Why we got to be in the comments so early? Let's get to the show.
Okay,
They in
we
there.
think
They
the show
like
was
in there.
cutting up. Anyway,
Get to the
so
show.
Felicia, tell us what is childhood trauma, or what are examples of childhood trauma?
So childhood trauma is really basically anything that has been a hurtful experience to you. And the thing is about trauma, it can be as minimal as losing a loved one at a very young age. Like if anybody lost a mom or a father, that is considered a trauma, to an extreme trauma, or you could call it a big T trauma, where it's really something like physical abuse or sexual abuse, neglect, Um, Even for those of us who grew up in the ghetto, in the hood, like I did, even community violence, like these are types of trauma, right, that we grew up with as a child. So when you say childhood trauma, it's anything under the age of 18. Some people consider at 16 and under, but at 18, you still don't know. I feel like at 18, you still a child, you still young. So that's like the example of childhood trauma. And you really do not get past that because as you go through trauma as a child, right? You handle every stressor, everything that happens in your life, everything that may come up in life, you handle that at the age that your trauma happened. Let me
Mm.
I'm a rewind, I'm gonna back that up. So whatever has happened and whatever hurtful experience that you have gone through in your life, right? So I'm gonna use my story because I that's the only way I can explain it best is that at 7 years old, that's how that was when my trauma happened. My response to my trauma was run and fight because that's all I knew. So when any stressor happened in my life growing up, and even in my early adulthood, that's how I handled stress was fighting, whether it was verbally or physically, because that was my way of I have to protect me. I have to protect me. So a lot of times when we've gone through stuff as child and we get adult, we think like, oh, I've been like this all my life. I'm never gonna change. No, baby, you've been through something that made you that way. You had a hurtful experience that made you to the point of how you respond with stress or just life happening.
Oof. Mm.
So you hit on something. When you said you respond to the trauma at the age that it happened.
Right.
One thing I've learned and stuff like dealing with being with in the mental health field and everything too, and that not only do you deal with it with how you do it, but you that changes your trajectory of how you mature. So
Absolutely.
like you said, at 7, that's when it happened. So now you probably accelerated your mental development from 7 to shit probably 17, but you still will have the mindset of processing things as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that's the thing I think a lot of folks don't understand or realize that, and that when it happens, it's like a pin or bookmark in your life.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
That's yeah, it sits right there. And then what I hate to say it, what makes it even worse, if it's a continuous thing, you continuously have these bookmarks. And so as your life starts to go this way and it happens, it just continuously to change.
Mm.
And when it comes to dealing with childhood trauma, folks will look like you said, somebody be like, "Oh, I've been like this all my life. I'm not gonna change." It's not the fact that they've been like that all their life. They don't. I think they don't know how to change, or they're afraid to pull that scab off that wound.
That's good.
Yeah. And that's true. That's kind of what we were talking about before the show started. Is a lot of people believe my shit don't stink. I'm perfect. I don't need to heal. I'm good and everything else. And then when you start seeing those pieces pop up in your adult life and you're wondering why you keep having these failed relationships, you keep following this same little trait, and you're like, what the hell is going on? Or the classic, I'm healing, but you ain't did nothing to
Right.
start the healing. Like you ain't done nothing to start the healing. So Felicia, what would you say in going down this road to start actually really healing? What would be that first step?
The first thing I'm gonna always tell you is awareness. Like you gotta be aware that you've been hurt. Like you gotta be real enough to say, dang, I've been through some messed up stuff in my life. And even not only I've been through messed up stuff and if I've made mistakes that caused me hurt too. Like a lot of times we want to point the finger, and don't get me wrong, when I'm saying this, I'm not saying that person was right for hurting you or whatever they did to you, that it was okay for them. But what I'm saying is sometimes when we've been hurt, okay, we make decisions as we get older, as we grow up, and sometimes we make those decisions out of our hurt. I'm gonna say that again. A lot of times we make decisions out of our trauma. A lot of times we make decisions and choices, relationships, what job we choose, the people that we want to be around, the people that's around us. We make these decisions based on what wounds us and what hurt us. And a lot of times when we get hurt, yeah, they were wrong for hurting you, but a lot of times you made that choice to have them in your life. So if you're not aware that you have been wounded, you cannot go nowhere. If you, for example, I knew that I had to change because I knew that everything that I had gone through in my life, far as being a new mom, being a newlywed, I already had stripes against me. See, my mom was not raised by her mother. Let's check out this generational trauma and this generation curse. My mom wasn't raised by her mother. I was taken away at 7 years old. Check this out now. I was taken away. Then I don't believe my grandmother was raised with her biological mother. You see that? So you see 3 generations. So if you're not big enough to pull up your big girl panties or boxers, if you're not willing to do that work and say, dang, my grandma went through this, my mama went through this, and I'm going through the same path. I need to do something to change this trajectory. I need to
break the
do
cycle.
something. Because if I don't, I'm gonna end up the same way. I had 2 daughters at the time, and at that time I was 20 years old. I was emancipated from foster care. I did not have no benefits from the foster system. I was homeless. I didn't have nothing to my name. So I was out here working 3 jobs, having people watch my kids. But a lot of times when you're in that situation, you're like, okay, I'm trying to make life better. But sometimes you gotta sit still and say, let me be real with me. What am I doing this for? And I need to heal. I need to do something else because what's going on right now ain't working. And a lot of times people not willing to take that step back and say, hey, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna take a step back because I keep choosing wrong relationships. Trust me, we all been there. Where we keep like, why I keep going through the same thing? Why am I going through the same? Why do people keep doing this to me? Having friends, let me tell you something. I was that friend that gave everything. I gave, if you call me like, Felicia, I need $200 for my light bill. Okay, I give it to you. But then when I began this healing journey, I had to get aware, right? And my now husband helped me with this. People was asking me for stuff, but then I see them on Facebook and Instagram. They got their nails and their hair done and all that other stuff.
Man, you better talk.
So I had friends, right? Because I was a people pleaser and I needed to feel that need of being wanted and needed. I kept those friends around because it was a trauma response that I had as a child. See, a lot of things that we do is out of our childhood trauma, or even just trauma or hurtful experience. And I'm going to touch on this real quick. Trauma is not just, domestic violence, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional. It's not just that. Trauma is anything that has happened in your life that changed your perspective, that has wounded you.
Yep.
So you telling me that anything in my life can cause trauma in my life? Yeah, it can change your mindset. It can change the thing that I realized when I got on this healing journey was that trauma affects your DNA and it affects your genetics. When I heard that, it blew my mind. Because if you think about it right now, if you look at your family and you see addiction, you see certain stuff in your family, and you begin to mark it off and be like, I've done all of this. That is really an awareness that this is a generational curse or trauma. And I need to do something different, right?
Yeah.
It all starts with being real. Like I feel like in this society, we don't want to be real no more. Like
Yeah.
No,
if you
hell no.
real, you shun. Like if
Yeah.
you tell somebody you gotta do something, you gotta work. You gotta if you want you say you want healing, you want hope, you want happiness, you want joy, you want money, you want all this. First, you gotta work on this inside. Your mind is funky. The way you speak, how you treat people is funky. Like you can't expect to have all of it to, oh, universe, come to me, God bless me, but you're not willing to be real with yourself and be like, man,
Woo.
I did some messed up stuff, or
But
somebody
hold
did
on.
some messed up stuff to me.
Woo.
But hold on. You hit on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm probably about to go come up missing. But that's what's being pushed in when we in the churches. That's what's being pushed.
Ooh.
That whole facade of being that I'm the God has changed me, but you shouting on Sunday but cussing on Saturday
Yeah,
type stuff.
Woo.
because it's they when I look
They-
at situations like that, it's the inside
right,
is being worked on.
right, right. And it's crazy. And yeah, that whole I've been saying that people look at me when crazy when I say it. Trauma changes your DNA because
Mm.
how what made me really start looking at it is for me was after my first deployment in the military.
Mm.
All the stuff that I saw affected me. And when I came back, it was everybody said, dude, you different, you different. And I'm like, how the fuck I'm different? I'm still the same person. The same day. I was like, it's something different about you. And I didn't put two and two together until like after my third deployment. I was like, okay, something ain't right. Something ain't right. But another thing too, when you was talking about folks who nowadays don't want to put in the work. I don't think it's they don't want to put in the work. I think it's the fact that they don't want to feel vulnerable. They don't want
Mm.
to be like because it's different when you can see the wound. Like you got a gunshot wound, put pressure on it, wait
Oh,
till somebody
that's
to come
good.
in.
Yeah.
But that moment you like, damn, I'm fucked up. And you'll say it out loud and you start looking around like, oh shit, did I say that? But it's
Oh,
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, I don't want to say that because they gonna think I'm so. And you hear it all the time on TV, on like podcast conversation. You hear it all the time. Oh, I ain't gonna tell this person how I really feel because I don't want them to look at me like I'm soft.
yeah,
But everybody see you soft,
Yeah.
yeah.
so it's okay to be like, yo, I'm fucked up. And then to add to that, I know I'm going all over the place. To add to that, I believe too, some people address their trauma by overcompensating.
Mm. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
That's
because you have the ones like bullies, for instance. Bullies are bullies. Why? Because they got bullied.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You sure?
A lot of promiscuous women are promiscuous. Why? Because they was raped.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a
They're
domino
trying to
effect.
gain back that control.
Yes.
A lot of drug addicts, the same thing, because that's the only thing they can control in their life.
Right.
So yeah, yeah, you
So
getting on some shit.
I want to touch on that vulnerability real quick. And
Woo.
that's the thing. We think that we got to be vulnerable with the whole world.
Facts, girl.
When we think, because I had this misconception as well, because I was like, I'm not asking for help. I don't need no help. I got me. Because why? In my life showed me that I only had me to depend on, right?
Yes.
So I had this misconception of just keeping it all in. Like, I think I was homeless for like a whole year and nobody knew I was homeless. Like, nobody knew. They knew I left town, but nobody knew anything. Why? Because I did not want nobody to be like in my vulnerability. Like, I didn't want nobody in my space. Like, I got me. Nobody else gonna got me, and I can't trust me, right? And so a lot of times when we're trying to be on this healing journey, we need at least one person, whether it be a friend. And I'm not talking about no bullcrap friend. I'm not talking about a friend that you know them type of friends. They just
Hmm.
there to listen to your business and tell it out and
And
just
then gossip, go gossip.
like, are they suck you dry? Are they drain your energy? I'm talking about friends that
Yeah.
support your healing journey, that support you when you a hot mess, when you on point, when you don't feel like getting out of bed. I'm talking about friends.
Mhm.
Friends, real friends. I'm talking about people. Get on somebody's couch. Sometimes you need therapy. Sometimes you need a counselor, and
Yes.
sometimes you might need a coach. Sometimes
Yes.
you might be for me. I don't know if y'all on my Instagram, but I said that therapy did not help me heal. Not to knock therapy, but because I grew up in the foster care system, and that's all I knew was medical facilities, therapists, psychologists, where I was misdiagnosed, where I was overly medicated at 10 years
Mm.
old. I was 10 years old where I was drugged up till I was drooling. You get what I'm saying? So when I got
Wow.
older, I was like, I can't do the medical thing. But guess what? There was people out here holistically, coaches, self-development programs, friends, and people I was in college with. They were helping me on my journey of healing. The only way you can truly heal is that you get vulnerable with somebody, whatever that look like, a therapist, a coach, um, a counselor, whatever that looks like for you. You know, everybody knows them. They know their story. They know what pain they've been through. If a therapist is your route, get vulnerable. Get vulnerable with that person. If a coach is who you're going to, get with that person. If a friend or your relationship, get with somebody that is going to support you in your vulnerability. And I'm gonna touch on that later with what that looks like when you're supporting someone with trauma, because a lot of times when
Mm.
people that has gone through some heavy stuff, a lot of people don't know what to deal with it. So how they
Right.
deal
Yep.
with it is trying to fix that person,
Yep.
but they don't need that. They need you just to love on them, to
Hmm.
be there when they feel like they can't make it. You get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta allow them to fix themselves. You can't
Right.
do it.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
So let me ask you a quick question, real quick. Do you think shit that hurt? Do you think trauma can be positive?
Okay, say that again.
Do you think trauma can be positive? Like reacting to like say I'm gonna use me for an example. I grew up without a true father figure in my life, and the father figure that I had was my grandfather. Everybody else, my uncles and stuff, I understand they tried, but they were more on the lines of brothers versus their father figure. So what that caused me to do was when as I grew older, I didn't surround myself with a lot of dudes. And if I said you was my dog or my homeboy, that's I meant that.
Right.
So like I said, I just lost one of them, which is fucked me up for so in total I had like four dudes that I rocked with. But looking back at it, um, it kept me out of a lot of bullshit
Mm.
with that same type of with that thought process. It kept me out. It kept me out of a whole bunch of bullshit with like you said earlier, like people that get your business and then spread it, or people that's not good for you. Do you think that can happen with an individual who's experienced some other type of trauma?
So yeah, I agree with that. Um, Trauma opens up your mind of seeing past the bullcrap. For not all people, but for me and for many survivors and people that have experienced trauma, because you got to get this. You've already been through the worst of what life had to offer, right? So you can seek past and see past the fake, the ain'ts, and the real and the wannabes, right? And so okay, I know I'm not gonna fit in that crowd because they just on
Mm.
some other stuff. They on some other mess. And
Mm.
just like you, I didn't grow up with like I couldn't do women. Like for the longest time, women, um, I think because I was wounded by my mother. And so being around women, it was just a trigger. So we know to get around people, um, Not always, but most of the time we know how to get around people that are loving, that is there for us, that's always encouraging. Because I can tell you, I have one best friend. She's still my best friend. Like I have friends, I have associates, and I think when you've experienced trauma, you know what category to put people. I put people in categories. Like I put people in categories. Like I put people in categories.
Yes.
So I know
Yes.
if I can trust you. If I can trust you with certain things. Certain people I will never trust them with my house or leaving my children with because
Ooh.
you got a category, you in a category. In business, I know not to come ask you for no advice because I know you're not on that level. So I'm gonna put you in a category.
Yes.
So with finances, if I know you bad with money, I am not going to ask you about the money because
Man, you better talk.
because I put you in a category. And it's not a lot of people like, oh Felicia, that's wrong, that's selfish. No, 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 no. I have to take care of this right here. I'm 100% control of me. And that's the thing about people in this society. We're too busy focused on trying to fix other people and trying to tell other people how to live their life and what they need to do and not need to do. And you are jacked up mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, health wise, you jacked up.
I think
So
that's why they do it. I think that's why they do it because they're projecting their shortcomings on somebody else.
that's
That's
it.
just like that's just like your single friend trying to give a married couple, somebody married or in a relationship advice. How the fuck?
Where we do that at?
Yeah, like girl, you need to do this. Where your man? Hey dog, that was my girl. Da 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 da. Where your chick? Like, help me understand. If we was in the same boat, got it. But yeah,
You have to protect you, especially those that have been hurt. Like you gotta protect you. And you gotta and for me, not
mm,
only am I protecting me now, I got 6 kids. I got a lot of children, y'all. So I have to protect my 6 children. I'm not living for me now. I'm living for them, their children, and their children because I am
facts,
ending and I am breaking generational curses. I am breaking
facts,
generational trauma, period, point blank. So
facts.
my kids, they be like, well, mommy, they mama let them do this and that's they mama.
Mm.
I'm your
Yeah.
mama. And
Yeah.
I'm not for it. No, you can't spend the night. You can stay right here. If they want to come over, they can spend the night over here. If I haven't met their mama, you not going. You not going nowhere. If they haven't met me. So how I raise, not even how I raise, how I parent, how I do marriage, how I do everything in my life is completely different from how I seen it happening. And that's, I think,
Facts.
positive trauma taught me. Everything that I seen growing up, everything I experienced in my life, I do the complete opposite. I've never seen a healthy marriage in my life. But
Facts.
Ooh.
I can tell you that my marriage is healthier than ever because me and my husband did the work. We went through some things to get to the itty gritty, to get to that, to where we was about to break down fighting because it got to that point of where we had to get real with each other. Because if you're not willing to go there, back to that awareness, back to that vulnerability, how you gonna move forward? How?
Ooh, because I was gonna ask that question, but you didn't already. You and DW didn't kind of hit on two of my questions because I was gonna ask that question about how if you have not seen positive, healthy marriages, how does that affect you?
Do the
And
opposite.
it's just not marriage, it's just relationships.
Just
And that
Relationships in
too.
general.
But I
Yeah.
mean, you have to also think that when you're
Like,
a child and
yeah.
you're growing up and you're just seeing this dude, or
Yep.
you're seeing this married couple, but they're fighting or they're going at it all the
Hmm.
time. If you're growing up in that and you're not seeing healthy,
Friendships,
you
relationships.
know, that's what you kind of start thinking is normal,
Hmm.
and it's not normal. That ain't what it is. And there's trauma that comes from that too, because then you see
Yeah.
that and you start to think like, I don't want to get
Cause
married.
like an example of that too, like we laugh about it and joke about it all the time. as a black community is how we talk about our friends in front of our kids.
Mm.
So they think that's okay. Like, you get like, hey, that's my girl. Da, 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 da. That bitch done had 5 children from 4 different men and da 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 da. Da. And so the kid like, damn, okay, that's how
But
you
that's your
rock with
friend
your homie.
though. But
Yeah,
that's your friend.
yeah, that's how you rock with your friend. So I'm gonna be the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And that's good what you. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie.
go ahead. Go ahead.
That's good what you said. You said relationships, period. And I'm just throw this out here. Relationship is not somebody you intimate with. A
Facts,
relationship is how you show up at work, your coworkers, your boss,
facts,
friendship, marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, your children, so on
facts.
and so forth and
Yes.
so forth. Those are relationships. Because a lot of times we have learned words in our school. I'm just gonna say
Hmm.
school, and we try to apply it to everything. No, no, no. Relationships is any form of relationship that you in. And the thing is, trauma and hurtful experience it show up in every area of your life.
There you go.
Every area. It don't
Yeah.
matter what type of relationship you have. It's gonna show up in that relationship, whatever type of relationship it is. And
Yeah.
people, this is why you have to get real with you. Nobody know you better than you. You have to know you. Like awareness is the biggest thing. You've experienced, especially if you grown.
Yeah.
If you grown, you know you. And you just need to take that moment to really begin on this healing journey to be like, okay, something got to change. Y'all ever been in that place, or even the audience? If y'all can type yes in the chat, it's like, man, why I keep going through this? Man, why can't life? I keep going through the same thing. Man, I'm tired. I'm so tired. Emotionally, I'm drained. I can't keep doing this.
Yes.
Man, I
Yes.
don't know no more. I don't know if I
Yes.
can take another episode or another issue. Man, I'm tired.
Yep.
That's your awareness. That. It's not for you to quit or give in a towel, but that's your awareness and tapping on you. Be like, hey, I'm trying to tell you that something ain't right. You got to
Something
change
ain't right.
something.
Yeah.
We
That's that
can't
red flag in life.
exactly.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we don't want to listen to the red flag because it hurt too much.
Yeah.
Not only that, is you got to make it's a sacrifice you got to make.
That's
I think
good.
that's what it is. A
And that's
sacrifice.
it too.
Yeah. Because if you the red flags like in a relationship, I'm gonna use relationship like a dating. We see the red flag, but you're like, damn, if I let that if I answer that, I'm gonna be by myself again for no
Hmm.
telling how long. If I but if I ignore it, maybe it'll get better or maybe it'll
Ooh.
change. And that's that sacrifice. Like, nah, bro. It's gonna come a time you're gonna have to make that decision. It's gonna be you and me.
Yeah.
And goddamn it, I'm gonna be here. I don't know about your ass, but I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
Right. And that's good. And it's so true. We gotta be to really get on this healing journey, we gotta be real. You asked me the first stage, it's awareness. You gotta be real with you.
Yeah.
Like you
And
gotta
that's
be real with you.
and that's the scary part. I know I keep cutting you off because you keep sparking stuff in my
Yeah.
head.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
I know you see the smoke coming from my brain right now.
Because I was about to send
Um,
you a message.
You good.
yeah, and that's the thing. But a lot of people are afraid to do that, to be aware of themselves because they're afraid to see how fragile they are, like
Mm.
how imperfect they are, and as I'm sitting here thinking about it. That's probably why I'm so hyped. I'm sitting here thinking about it, like looking at like people that we as society put up as role models.
Ooh. Mm.
But Dion said it best. He said you got to be careful who you make role models because there's a lot of models out there playing roles.
Come on.
So I was like, yes, yes. All right, I'm gonna shut up now. Go ahead. I'm going on mute actually.
Oh no, don't go on mute. No, don't go on mute. But no, it's so true. It's so true. Because we have this expectation because we see it in front of our faces.
Yeah.
And we strolling on social media, we see it on TV, we see it, and we think because I always say this, I'm gonna get back, put a pin in that. We think because we see stuff on TV and media and etc. that is for us. But it's all, TV and the social media is created by psychologists, right?
Man, oh, girl, stop. You better tell them. You better tell them.
Say
It's to
again.
mess with your psyche.
You better tell them.
It's supposed to mess with this.
A TV is a mind control device. But I'm
Like,
gonna shut up.
it messes with this. And if you not going back to what I was saying earlier, like, you have to be to that point of like, yeah, it hurt. Who told you? I'm gonna ask y'all this. Who told y'all that healing and going after dreams and going after breaking generational trauma, generational curse, going after financial freedom was gonna be easy? Who told you
But you know what?
that?
Those are things that are taboo in the Black community.
Mm,
It's either if you have dreams, you have dream killers.
mm,
And then if you are, like you said, trying to heal and stuff like that, or anything along those lines, the finances, those are topics that are taboo in
Yeah.
Black communities. They don't teach you that stuff. Those things are, oh, if you get a credit card, girl, you bought, girl, go on and get you stuff. You got a credit. It's like debt is celebrated. The the lack of knowledge of how to use that credit card appropriately is, it ain't there. It's just spend, swipe, go get your nails done, go get your hair done. That financial responsibility is not taught in the Black community, and that's why a lot of us do have the debt that we have and the lack of knowledge, because that's not one of those tools that is being taught as we were growing up. I know it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I
Same here.
had bills before I turned 18. I
Come
think
on now. I had light bills in my name and I didn't even know I had light
phone
bills.
bill, all those things.
nah, I was lucky. I fucked my credit up in college.
Yeah. So that stuff was like stuff is so much in the Black community that's taboo.
Yeah.
That they're not saying it's not being discussed at all, but it's a very small amount to where parents are knowledgeable to be able to teach their kids that stuff, to do
Hey.
things the right way.
And you
Otherwise,
know what I say? Oh, sorry, my love.
celebrate.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You are absolutely right. So, well, one thing that I said, I seen everything under the sun. I grew up in Fort Myers, Florida, and I had to say it like
Uh-oh.
that
Okay.
because Fort Myers, and the
Mm-hmm.
nickname for Fort Myers is AKA Little Pakistan,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So all I knew and all I saw was that either you was dating a drug dealer,
Yep.
you worked a 9 to 5,
Yep.
you everybody was broken, everybody was fighting over the same woman or fighting over the same man. Yeah, because the town is about that.
But that,
Yeah. Fort Myers about that big. You blank. You do it.
So it was a war zone. It was just toxic. And I had all this going on around me growing up. Yes, there were people that didn't teach healing, that didn't teach financial, didn't teach freedom. But one thing that I always was known for is like, Felicia, you always going out of town and you always somewhere different. Because I couldn't find it in my town, I went out to other cities. I went out to experience life. I was traveling and driving by myself to Georgia, Alabama, Virginia. And this is the thing, and I'm gonna bring this back to healing because I want y'all to understand. Yeah, you did not see healthy growing up. You didn't see financial freedom growing up. You didn't see a healing growing up. You didn't see it. But I promise you, if you change your environment, you would change the state of your mind and your life. If you get around people that, and I'm gonna say it, that makes you uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real because it's not gonna be like, oh, I fit in. No, you're not. You're gonna feel uncomfortable because that's where it was for me. Because I wanted to be a better mother, I had to get around mothers that was doing something different that I ain't never seen in my life. I said, that's retarded. But then I went back and I'm like, maybe that might
Like
work.
they own the something.
Maybe they own something.
Yeah.
Like I had to begin because, like I said earlier, that trauma shows up, pain shows up in all areas of life, all areas of your life, right? And so there was one point in my life, in my early 20s, where I was always yelling and whooping and screaming and waking up mad and angry. But I was like, one day it was just like, this gotta stop. I'm stressing my own self out. And I began to stop yelling and just begin to talk to my kids.
Yeah.
And when I realized
Speak
that
on it.
these little human beings had some things to say,
Yes. Very
right?
much.
When
Very
you know,
much.
let me tell you something about this healing journey. It ain't always pretty. It's a hot mess sometimes.
Yeah.
When you are able to listen to your children on the things that hurt them and you don't get offended, that's when you know you heal. That's when you
Man.
know you healing.
Man, you just said a whole mouthful like there because I can relate to that, and I can relate to that while I've been on my journey. Um, with I know when you're used to hearing hollering, listen, growing up, that becomes the norm for you. So
Yeah,
when you have your kids, it's like bam.
it
But
clicks
then when
on.
you start to change that and you can actually hear your kids and it's like different even as far the little thing. And I read this maybe about a year or two ago about when you wake your kids up in the morning, don't start their day off with you hollering at them because
Yeah,
that sets the path to their day.
yeah,
That little bitty thing of them not hearing that flips the whole game.
yeah,
Whole game, because you've already, when you do that, you've already dropped that seed in their mind for the day. So they're somewhere during their day they're playing that back. Mama was fussing at me about this. Mama was going
hmm,
off about this. I heard this morning. It really does set the path to their day. And it makes a bit, like you said, it makes a big difference when you can honestly have that conversation with your kids and take what they're saying versus you getting offended. Don't tell me that. Don't talk to me like that. I'm your mama, blah, blah, blah. You can be mama all day long. You gonna still be mama.
right.
Mama ain't perfect and mama have made some mistakes. And parenting, I don't know what book they may claim it. To me, parenting don't come with a book because every child is different. Every child you raise them different. I
Yeah,
raised my daughter different from the way I raised my son because my son has autism. I've had to do a whole turnaround. Even from the way that my parents raised me, I decided not to raise my kids that way. Raise them, different. From that change, from them raising me to my daughter to my son, it's a whole different kind of turnaround. We don't do the hollering thing. We don't do butt whooping.
yeah,
So it's a total different element. But when you know your child and you can have that conversation with your child, and you don't have to be aggressive, have them shaking in their boots, and you can actually have a conversation.
yeah,
I get more of a reaction from my son of, okay, hey, you didn't do this today, you didn't do this, so you don't get to play the game today. That gonna hurt him more than a butt whooping
exactly.
all day long. So it's like, okay, so let's discover where we made that error and what we gonna fix. He know every day there's three things he gotta bring home. It better be his cell phone, his lunchbox, and his homework. If any of those components is not in this house when you walk through that door, guess what you don't get? You don't get to
Mhm.
play that game. because you didn't do the 3 requirements you're supposed to get there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different. You don't have to be just you don't have to be just
Raw all the time.
aggressive, and yeah, you don't have to be the warden
Yeah.
with your kids.
Yeah.
You really don't. So let's hit some of these comments. And you actually got a question in one of the comments, but I'm gonna go back to Francine. Francine is one, she's been on the podcast a couple of times. She said, here's the thing with military aspect. Sometimes these kids are being recruited or already suffering from undiagnosed PTSD from childhood, and then back makes that worse.
Yeah. I agree 100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I was when I was in San Antonio, I worked in a division that looked at the overall military I shouldn't say recruiting process, but just every process in the military. And one of the things we thought of was doing a psych eval for individuals coming into the military, because of how, one, we started to notice the rise in suicides, the rise in criminal activities, not criminal activities, misconduct, that's the word, misconduct in the military, and couldn't nobody come up with a valid answer. And then they started to look at how much money was getting paid out to veterans for PTSD. And that's one of the things we was like, hey, it could be a lot of the folks that are coming in already had this childhood trauma, but because we needed numbers, we was like, have you experienced any trauma? Have you did XYZ? Have you seen this? And just to get people in. And then when the shit hits the fan, now we're like, well, thank you for your service, pat on your back, and go about your business.
Wow. So, Felicia, of course, this is for you. Alex the Man stated, relationships about trust and teamwork. What's the best way to start a process and to get them to participate in the process of healing? Oh, I think you're mute, Mama. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that was weird. The first thing I would say to you, who is that? Kevin?
Alex the Man.
Alex the Man.
Yes.
The first thing I would say, you got to have a sit down and talk. And when I mean talk, a lot of times communication is something. We like to be like, but you do this and you did that and you did it and you that is not having a conversation. That's you pointing fingers. And think about it. If you point fingers at me and I'm already feeling some type of way, that doesn't make me want to be vulnerable to you. That makes me want to be on the defense. That makes me want to be on the defense. So a lot of times you just got to sit down and say, and be real, I feel this way when this is happening. Or when this is happening, this is what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. We cannot read each other's minds. We are not control over anyone. And I touched on this earlier. You cannot control nobody but you.
Yeah.
You cannot control nobody's thoughts, emotions, behavior, actions. But you can control you. Yeah. And one thing I found out when I came to talk with people and I came in soft or vulnerable, I got vulnerable back. When I came in at a defense mode, I got defense back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And with relationships, you have to know, is it going to benefit 5 years, 10 years, or even 11 years? Is this really going to make a difference? And that's one thing I had to realize. A lot of times we want to argue about every little thing. Like we want to argue about if this is right and then that. And sometimes it really don't matter. Who cares? Like, it isn't really that serious. And it's in any environment. And like we touched on, we said that relationship is not just intimate relationship. Relationship is relationship with your spouse, relationship with your friends, family, co-workers. You're not going to have that same vulnerability with your coworker as you will with your spouse. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So that's when I say categories. When I put things in categories, I know I got business partners and I have a husband.
Yes.
With things that I have vulnerable with my husband, I can't come to my business partner with that same vulnerability. I have vulnerability, but it's a different vulnerability because I know it's business. You get what I'm saying? So
Yes.
you have to know what level, where you at, and who you're talking to, and what difference is going to make if you share that, if you
Yeah.
get to that point. Like if you share that, what is your, don't even have expectation, I'm not even going to say that, but what are you planning to do afterwards, after this conversation is done? A lot of times we don't think that far, because a lot of times it's like we're vulnerable with people, and then we have this expectation that they're going to receive it. And a lot of times I can tell you there's been many a times when I've been vulnerable with my husband like, huh, I don't see that. And ooh, my blood was boiling, right? But I have to remember he has a different perspective and thought process than I do.
Yeah.
And you
So
know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
No, because I was thinking, you made me think about somebody I know that was addressed the trauma, but when they addressed the perpetrator, they didn't get the response that they got, and I think that made the trauma worse because they were expecting them to. I, I, I believe they was expecting a lifetime story where the person breaks down and I'm sorry and and they didn't get that,
Yeah.
so they made it worse, and it was, and a lot of people don't realize that you cannot address trauma expecting what you think is going to come back.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't, then you in a whole nother situation.
Yeah. And we touched on this earlier. You got to get around somebody that is for you. Whether that's a counselor, a therapist, go sit on somebody's couch, a coach, a
Yes.
support system. You might need a healing retreat. Like you gotta. This is a you work. Like it's a you work because nobody can't fix what has happened to you and what has happened. Nobody can't make it feel better. It can feel like it's making you feel better. It may feel like that man or that relationship are overworking, because trauma overworking is a trauma response. I'm gonna say it.
Mm.
I'm gonna say it. It is a trauma response, but you have to get to that place of like it all boils down that you gotta be aware that these things. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading your comments. We gotta be aware and willing to say, I need to get on somebody's couch. I need to get a coach. I need to get us around somebody that is going to listen, not try to fix me, not try to argue with me. Because a lot of times we're trying to pour out things from our past and what has hurt us, what has wounded us, to people that can't handle it.
Yeah.
Because everybody cannot handle what you've been through.
Yeah.
Everybody can't handle, and some people either they're gonna say, "Oh no, it didn't happen," or "Oh, why you letting it stress you," and da da da. So most people can't handle it. So get around individuals or get a coach, therapist, a counselor that is equipped for that,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
everybody can't handle all that. Everybody can't handle that heavy stuff.
No.
They can't handle. They don't know how to. So you cannot expect them, even though you want them to, but you can't expect them to understand or to try to make you feel better or to try to even fix the issue, especially if you don't even know the issue. Because sometimes when you've been through some childhood trauma, a lot of times you don't even realize it's an issue. A lot of times you have suppressed it so much that you suppress
Mm.
it with working, you suppress it with alcohol, you suppress it with dating, you suppressed it with being a mother, being a parent. You have suppressed it so much that when it does show up in your life, you're like, whoa, what the heck was this? What the heck is this? So you
Yeah.
got to get somebody that's equipped, that's willing to say, hey, I see you, I hear you, and I value who you are.
Yeah.
And that's really what that is and what that looks like.
Yeah. And that's gonna be hard as hell. So
It is. It is.
it is.
It is.
That's that added to the dating
Yeah.
dilemma. That's that added. Because yeah, you could tell somebody something and run them the hell off, or you could
Yeah.
be in a situation where you start to tell somebody the pieces of you, but they don't get it, or they're trying to fix you. They
Mhm.
think they're the fixer and can fix you, and that's not what that is. So, um, going into, I have a question for you, because we've kind of touched around it a little bit. Um, when you have that strange relationship with your mother or your father, because I know sometimes the females have daddy issues, males have mommy issues. How does that show up in your relationships?
Mm, that's good. Um, so for me, y'all know I'm always gonna stick to my story. For me, was a mother wound, and I knew it. I always knew it because I had such extreme anger to my mother. Like it was ridiculous. Like she could call, and she was that one person that can change my mood, and I was like, that you just sounded stupid. Like, and my day, my week would be ruined because something she said or a tone of her voice or even just something that an action that she made. And because that was my wound, a lot of times we want to continue to put ourselves in that environment with that person. What I mean by that, meaning that we want to either seek their approval, want to be around them, want to be in their space. But if you are hurt and wounded, you're not able to be in that space. You cannot be in that same environment that has hurt you. You cannot be in that same environment that has hurt you or wound you. So you have to take a step back. And when you begin that healing journey, and trust me, my relationship with my mother, I talk to my mother, but it's not as frequent as I will do with my sister, or my adopted family or my adopted mom. Because why? Our relationship is different. Because my relationship with my adopted parents, they've been there when I was at my worst, not trying to fix me, not trying to hurt me, or not trying to. And then another thing that helped me was that I realized that she was hurting too. I realized that she was broken too. And I began to change my perspective about her. And people might be like, this is so cliche. I began to forgive her. Everything that I blamed her for, I forgive you. Is it saying that, oh, she get a pass for the things she did or the wounds she caused? No, not at all. But I forgive you because if I don't forgive you, I am going to remain angry. I'm going to remain stuck. I am going to remain at this place that I can't move past what you did. So I forgive you. So with that, if anybody is dealing with that, you can love on your parents without being in the same space. You can love on them without being in it. You can love people from a distance.
Yeah,
You really can.
long distance.
And when you're having conversation with, especially with parents, I think about it like this: show respect. Period. It don't
Yeah,
matter. We show respect to animals more than we show respect to people,
yeah,
right? And so we just show respect, right? And have boundaries. I have a time limit in what I can talk to my mom about, like for real. Like when we get on the phone, I know that I can handle about 10 to 20 minutes. Not because there's something going on with me, no, but I know that it's not going to go any further. Far as how you doing, all is well, how is work, how is your health? I am great.
mm,
How is the kids? Because you got to remember what I said. We were talking about this earlier. Relationship. I wasn't raised with my mother, right? So
yeah.
it's a relationship. And those for you that are was raised with your parents, show respect, love on them from a distance. and have your boundaries. If they do something or say something that's hurtful or out of line, be like, hey, I don't appreciate what you just said. They might be like, what did I just say? You said point A, point B, point C, and I don't appreciate this. So I'm gonna leave now. You have a blessed day. You have a great day. I love you. Talk to you later. And you dismiss yourself. Before you show any emotion, before you blow up, yell, scream, get down on yourself, blame yourself, dismiss yourself. But
Before
still
you
show
get cussed
respect.
out.
And even with that, you get cussed out. Have a blessed day. Love you. Talk to you later. Show no emotions.
Yeah.
I love you. Have a good day. You know, you think it's crazy. Okay, check this out. You can't argue with yourself, right? Can't argue with yourself, right?
No comment.
So if you are that person that's saying, have a good day, I love you, they can be going in. I mean, they can be going full blow in. You're walking away. You calm, cool, collected. You might be yelling in the inside. Don't get me wrong. In the inside, you're gonna be like, my blood is boiling. I want to say something.
Facts.
I want to say something. But keep walking away, right? Keep walking away. But guess what? I bet you're going to get a phone call. I bet you. And they're going to act like that happened.
Nothing happened.
Facts.
They're going to act like calm, cool, collected because why? You set boundaries. You told them truth. You told them, look, you said this. I don't appreciate this. All right. I'm not going to entertain this. Have a good day. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging up the phone.
Like deuces. Yeah.
And that's really it, especially with parents.
Oh, yeah.
But all I can say, respect them, love them, and realize that they've been through some stuff. Like I realized like that generation of the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s, they've been through some stuff. And they've been through
They didn't have the resources that we got.
right. They didn't have people talking about this. They didn't have therapists and people coaching and counseling and podcasts and books, and they didn't have this.
That was a white people thing.
Right? And so when you say hurt and trauma, they be like, oh, that ain't nothing new. Oh, and you know you've been traumatic when you know they've been traumatized when they say, well, hell, I was abused and I came out fine. You be like, wait a minute.
Say that again.
Like you think
Wait,
so?
what?
You be like, you think so? Oh, okay.
Right. Like you want to be a Kevin Hart, but like you're not just gonna go back and say like you ain't gonna.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Like you're not just gonna pass by that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a heart when I tell you when it comes to your parents in this healing journey, and I know it's a process. Like I'm gonna always tell y'all that this is a process. It might sound good and it might, but when you're going through the process, it is not going to feel good. But you want to know what the beautiful thing about this healing journey is that you recognize it. You be like, dang, that did not feel good, but I'm not going back to what I know or what I was used to. I gotta change it. I gotta make it different. Like I gotta change it. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, I want to cuss you out. Do you know how bad I want to cuss you out? But I'm not gonna cuss you out though. I'm gonna walk away. And I'm gonna leave you alone because I know you've been through some things. You've been through some things. And I give you that. Because you don't know no better.
It is really a process. God, it's a part. You be like, ooh, you be numb your whole renge kyo. Like you be really like, ooh, and sometimes you want to say something back and you just be like, everything does not require a response. Cut it and have a blessed day, like you said, have a blessed day and go.
Like I told somebody the other day, they was they got any emotions and feelings about something somebody said. I'm like, why are you continuously giving them power? Like every time they say something and you react, they have control. They know how to push your buttons. Why?
Yeah.
Because
And that, I think it's,
at
huh?
some level, you're still trying to seek that validation.
True.
You have that hope. It depends, especially if it's a parent. You have that hope that one day you're gonna meet
Well,
that level.
And
but
TK,
then,
oh, sorry, I'm gonna say
oh,
this. TK, you said something. Okay, you about 30 years, 40 years old. You know your parents
damn.
ain't
No,
gonna
just,
change. You know, not you, TK, but I'm just saying as a analogy.
Yeah,
You've been living with your parents and you know them, know them. You know
Mhm.
what they gonna say, you know their response. You already know. So you
yeah,
telling me every time you fall for the okie doke, every time they say something, because you know them. It's not
yeah.
like you
You
don't
do.
know them. You know them.
Yeah,
So check this.
yes, yes.
Get power, like our boy said. He said, your power, this, your
yeah,
mind, your thoughts, your emotions. You already know what they about to say and what they about to bring up and how they gonna say it.
yes,
So set
We just
yourself
had a
up.
whole conversation before it even started.
yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely. Most definitely.
So why
So
set yourself?
there's a comment, and this is also one of my questions because we was talking about this before the show started. So Kim said, I'm looking into my spiritual journey and need to learn how to do shadow work, but I learned that I have old childhood trauma that I need to heal. And we talked about both of these things before. So I'm going to definitely give you the joy of explaining what is shadow work and how much alcohol you going to have to drink when you do it. Woo!
It's a lot. You gotta get real with you.
Woo!
And it's child, maybe gotta get up and walk away for a second, come back. Because people think this is a pretty process. People have this misconception that, oh, I'm gonna be, and this is another thing, it's gonna be like, ooh, a quick fix. No, it's not. Because you've been you for the past what, 20, 30, 40 years? You've been you. And you've been living how you've been living. And now you're at an awareness to be like, okay, something has to be different. Something has to change. And a lot of times, I'm going to say this because we got church, we got the new age spirituality, we got all this going on, right? I'm not knocking whatever you believe, whatever you believe. You know, I'm a believer of Christ. But at the same time, I'm going to say this. Do not think just because you're doing this spiritual work, the church, going to church, praying, whatever your belief system look like and what you believe in, do not let that be oh, this is going to heal me 100% and depend on that. No, no, no,
Mm,
no.
mm, mm.
Yes, prayer works. Prayer changes things. Yes. Whatever you believe in, if you Jew, you don't believe in no religion, whatever you believe in, that is your belief. But at the same time, you cannot let that be what I'm gonna say, to
One stop.
suppress it. Allow it to suppress actually what you've really been through and what you really feeling oh, I'm focused on all this, right? Because a lot of times what we do, we get in these belief systems or we get in these religious mindset, and we think that all is going to be better and all is going to be well because I burnt some sage. You still gonna be a hot mess after you still burn that sage. I'm just saying. Oh, I got my crystals. How is you feeling though? Like, don't tell me, oh, this is what the crystal is making me feel. But no, I want to know how you really feeling. Like, don't give me that foolishness. Oh, you went to service on Sunday. Okay, yes, that's great. But what did it do to touch your heart? What did it do to spark some change? What did it do to make you closer with God? Like, don't give me that foolishness. Oh, I'm free, I am healed. But you acting a hot foolery mess after you done burn sage. You still gonna be a hot mess. I'm just saying. I'm done. I dropped the
Gotta
mic.
get that alignment because I know when I started
But,
doing shadow work, like Kim said, she was like, it's ugly and she's avoiding it. But baby,
but here's the thing too. Also, we have people have to understand and take into account is you're basically breaking up your foundation. You're breaking up everything that you've learned, everything that you've been taught, everything that you've been conditioned to think, your entire life. It's basically you basically telling yourself, my entire life has been a lie.
That's it.
So I have to figure out, and it's hard, especially when you in your teens, 20s. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easier because you're just starting. But once you get in a groove, and now you like, hold the fuck on. I'm really not this person. You mean to tell me I'm this person because of XYZ? Uh oh. So who the fuck am I? So and those are questions and answers that can really be almost more crippling than the childhood trauma. So people start thinking now, do I still want to keep going the way I'm going, or do I want to fix this? And it's I think the thing that got me to changing my thought process and looking at stuff is looking at my son and seeing not just my children and seeing that like this is not what I want to leave as a legacy. And not just me looking at me, I looked at the generation before me and generation before that, and I'm just like, this is not the legacy that I want to live.
That's
This is
good.
not what I want my son, his family, my kids, their kids. I don't want them to be going down the same motherfucking path.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
yeah, 'cause those generational curses are
Yeah.
yeah. But that
is
foundation is a
really a thing.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
That foundation is a motherfucker though, because like you you lived your life. Oh, I'm this type of person, and then that one crack, you like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, let me sit down and think about this here.
Mhm. And that's good. That's good. Because it is. It's the foundation.
Hmm.
And sometimes you gotta pick dig that whole foundation up.
And
And
lay a whole new one. Yep.
that's it.
yeah,
That's it. Because a lot of times, a lot of things that this is another thing, a lot of things that we grew up with and we was taught was not even right. A
ooh,
lot of
Facts.
things that
ooh,
we learned was not even true. A lot
Facts.
of things that we grew up with and belief system, and this is the touch on this, that you know how we are created as individuals is that we were made up of our environment, who who was raising us, what
Hmm.
schools we went to, the things we watched. These are the things that created us as us, right? And
yeah,
so if all your life you've been a certain way and you saw things being a certain way, like that's your belief system. That's what your world is and your
yeah,
perspective is. But then you might meet somebody else that got a whole different perspective, and then you like, oh, they funny or da 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 da. No, they just have a different perspective and belief system than what you were taught with.
yes,
So we gotta break up that foundation and
man,
lay new
man,
foundation. We have
mm,
to. Are we
definitely
gonna be keep repeating the same cycles
same cycle.
Mm.
over and over again?
It just be the remix.
Our children gonna go through the same thing that we go
Hmm.
through, and I don't think a lot of people are thinking like that. We as people of color, we don't think about generation our children's children. We're thinking about us. Oh, I can't wait till you get grown, right?
Hmm.
We don't think about, I want to create a life for you that
Fact.
you don't have to struggle or suffer the way I've suffered in life. And it can be mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. I don't want you to suffer in any way. So I'm going to create a whole new path for you. So you don't have to, yeah, you might go through some things. You might go through life because life happens to all of us,
Yeah.
but you're not going to go through as much pain that I had to experience. And a lot of times we do not think that way. This is all I know. I'm going to be like this till the day I die. This is it. Who said that?
Yeah.
Who defined that for you?
Yeah.
Who?
And I've heard that. I've definitely heard that complacency with this is just who I am. This is just me.
Yeah.
I
That
think that's
toxic.
fears talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing else, so I don't want to try to
Yeah.
find or create anything else because this is what I know and I'm comfortable and I'm
Woo!
content
That's the part.
with what and where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have all that. They doing all that. They go to seminars. They have podcasts. They do this. They do that. I'm content right here. I'm content with being where I am. It's too scary and I over there. Can't do
Right.
it. Why, why,
Facts.
why do I need to? Ain't nothing wrong with me.
Facts.
Mm-mm.
But you
Uncomfortable is
but
the
you
key.
55 in the club with skinny jeans on.
Are you 75 trying to drop a mixtape?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know
DJ being gay, goddamn.
what?
Sound like gunshots when you twerking.
Oh my
And
God.
you trying to fit in 579 outfits and you know you ain't
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
No, it ain't working.
Oh Lord, you know, I thought I seen somebody yesterday when I was picking my son up from school. And oh baby, Granny was trying to hold on to her youth light. She had it was her birthday too. So she had her money down her chest, but she had one of them
So she must have had $1,000 on her chest.
She had one of them hollow tops, so the top, you know, it cut on the gut part, but then the back it went, you know, long in the back. But she had stomach, and the way it stopped, like right here. So
She had on a bra. Okay, see, then she did have $1,000. Them long ass
all
titties.
this,
She would have had $1 from
all
here
this
all the way
stomach
down.
was coming out. You could see fupa and no, I'm not fat shaming. I ain't because
Hey, yes you are. Yes
I
you
got
are.
a good and I got a fupa, but I cover my.
Yes you are. You
So,
you
no,
hating
I'm
on
not.
Granny. You
Whatever.
hating on Granny.
But Granny was still trying to hold on. She had a cute little ponytail, so she's swinging it when she walked. But she was all exposed, like, you know. And I'm the grandbaby looking like this, and he lagging behind because, you know, he kind of looking like, Lord, my granny then came up here looking like this, like, you know. So he lagging behind. She, boy, come out. It's my birthday. We gotta go. I got plans, and he just lagging behind, like,
Probably why grandma always do this to me?
See, I
yeah.
love kids. Kids are real. Like if you
They
want to
funny
know,
as hell.
if you
They
want to
are.
know,
They're very
you want to know
honest.
about you, ask the children.
Ask the
Oh
children.
hell yeah.
'Cause
That's true.
there's
Especially the young ones.
no
The
filter.
young ones.
No filter.
No.
Your
And
breath
especially
stink.
in these upcoming babies, these new babies, oh, they don't got no filter.
None.
They asking all kinds, hey, why you walk like that? Why your shoes always leaning to the side? Like, damn, dog.
They're very honest.
Yeah.
And I like
Brutally,
it.
but
I
they're
like it. Cause listen to this, y'all. So I was talking to my daughters because I have 5 girls. And so
five.
I just said I had 6 kids earlier. You ain't here.
Wait, hold on. Where's the boy
You
at?
didn't say 5
It's
girls.
one.
Where he at though? Like age wise.
He's the middle.
I feel sorry for him.
5 girls.
I feel sorry for him.
I didn't know what the breakdown was. But
Hell, I feel sorry for him and your husband. I was like, hey, that time of the month, hey dog, let's go get a hotel room. We just gonna chill, eat pizza and bonbons for the whole goddamn week.
Oh, wow.
He's he antagonized them girls.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He antagonized them. He don't even care. The only one he don't antagonize is the baby. Like if they younger than him, he's like, oh, this the baby. The baby.
Oh, he the big. Okay, he the big brother. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
But the
Yeah.
older
Okay.
ones, oh, I be feeling bad. They be like, stop it. Leave me alone. I'm like, oh Lord. Oh Lord. I got nothing to do with that. But so let me tell you about this. So I was talking to my daughters, and we were talking about basic self-esteem and identity, right? And so I was like, um, what's you be on TikTok and stuff and on Instagram, um, and I be on Instagram. What do most of the women and the young girls do when they trying to show that there's somebody? So all five of my daughters got up and they turned around with their butt to me and be like, I said, what? She said, yeah, because mommy, all my girls, Liddy said, because they got more assets. They think they assets in their back and they don't got no brain. I said, Lord Jesus. I said, well, your mama gonna go out with some short shorts like this and like this half cut, and then I'm gonna go twerk. And she's like, no, you is not my mama going out there just degrading yourself. She's like, you don't got no value if you doing all that. All you showing your value is your body. And I was like, ooh, ask
Out
the
of the
kids.
mouth of babes.
Out of the mouth of babes.
Ask the
Yes.
kids.
They
Ask the
were
kids.
very
You want to justify it and soup it up. Oh, it's feminism and da 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 da.
No,
Ask the kids.
I got confidence. I'm confident.
Ask the kids. Ask the kids. I bet you won't ask your child how he feel when you walk out the house but believe naked.
Well, my son is very honest.
Oh, that boy, yeah.
Him,
He a little too honest.
he's very honest with his grandmother. I'm gonna say that.
He is a little too honest.
He said, "Look too honest."
He. Where you going in that? What you got on? Where you clothes?
Where the rest of that?
Yeah.
Like damn, you been here before, huh?
Yeah, he's on his grandmother. Like, where
You ain't supposed to have your titties out.
Like,
Okay, right on.
yeah, he's very honest, very
Ask the kids.
forward.
And
And
if
I'll be
you
like,
won't-
dude, yeah, he's very honest.
They'll tell you the truth.
But they're honest.
But you know
And
what?
I love that they see that at their ages. I love that they're able to see that and identify that.
Yeah.
Because they know, okay, this is not what I want. This is not what I want to put out in the atmosphere for myself, to be just throwing, like they said, my assets out there to the world like that. I don't want to be seen like that.
But that's not everybody though. Everybody's not like that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's where we as a community fail at miserably. We have pockets. Well, here's my philosophy. I say this all the time when people talk about it. I say the stuff that you see on TV is actually the minority versus the majority. The majority of Black people that are in the Black community are well educated, have themselves put together, blah 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 blah. So what you're seeing on TV is a method of distracting from not even the progressive Black people, but the positive Black people. So that's why it's so up in your face when you see the girls turn around with the shorts on. Every time you pose, they got their ass in the camera and blah blah blah, and the mini shorts and tights and all that stuff. But the thing is, also now I'm thinking about it, tying it into trauma. You have little kids who see that.
Yeah.
And that's creating trauma. So they feel okay. They're looking at them like, oh damn, they got a million 5 likes off of this one picture.
Right.
But then you got the other girl who graduated from college with a PhD. She got 5 likes. So I want the 1 million likes. So I'm gonna get butt ass naked and twerk over here. So everybody will like me and I'll feel validated. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I just had to get it out of my head.
Yeah,
but I think it is. I think it's just how we was talking about, was like when you grown up a certain way, because you got to remember this ain't nothing new. Y'all remember when your mom 70s and the 80s
They had that two step.
had
That one.
Daisy Dukes on, and so I love to listen to old people because I like to just listen because they be like, oh, this new generation, and my question be like, but where did it come from though?
Yeah, the tight ass bell bottoms.
I
They had
said it
the men in the
all
jumpers.
comes from something.
Yeah,
It all stems from something, and it goes back to the foundation. Don't act like your foundation wasn't funky. Like your foundation was funky, and it was just passed down generation to generation to generation and generation. And now we got the generation that be like, I don't give a.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
the Lil John. What is it? Lil John 2.0. That's what the generation this is.
Yeah.
and so we have to be. If we want change, we got to start with ourselves.
Definitely.
We want different. We got to begin to change us in our house.
Yeah.
Stop trying to worry about everybody else in their house and
Yeah.
they stuff.
Yeah.
You can't control what they do. You can control you though. You can shift things for you and your family. And I think that's the biggest thing in anything. Healing, finances, community is like you have to begin to reclaim your power on this first, emotionally, mentally, physically,
Yeah.
financially. You have
Definitely.
to. What's your
Definitely.
wellness?
Definitely. So, um, what can you run down all the steps? Because I know we definitely have someone in the audience, and she had mentioned a lot of times we don't know where to start. So we already know accountability and shadow work. What else would be those steps to take for healing?
Awareness,
Yeah.
getting a support safety network. And I
Ooh.
say support safety network because you're going to have them, they're going to support you on your journey. They're going to listen, they're going to value, they're going to hear you, they're supporting you. Safety, you are able to be real, authentic, and transparent with them when you're not having those also great days on this journey. You are going to have this person as safety because you're going to be like, look, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to do life today. I want to go get in my bed and I want to stay there. And they're going to be like, all right, I'm going to give you the day, but tomorrow we're going to get out this bed. That's your safety.
Yeah.
And they're going to be your network because they're going to help you grow in areas that you're not growing in. So your safety support network. Find it, find them. It might be a coach, it might be a therapist, it may be a counselor. Get on somebody's couch.
And you got
Yeah.
to be careful with that too, because like wounded people seem to attract wounded people.
Ooh, that's good.
So, so you may think, hey, oh, this person is gonna help me, but that person might be sending you in the wrong direction,
Right, you right.
have you going in circles.
That's why I say for me, I had to find something like if I had a similarity with you, especially when I was in this journey, I'd be like, not right now. Yeah, we might be clicking, we might because sometimes you be clicking with wounded people. You be clicking, they be become your friend. So I had to change my perspective and get in the uncomfortable. Get in people, get somebody that you don't know, a complete stranger.
Yes. That part.
Like that's what I had to like. I had to get to know strangers, and I realized strangers will love on you, support you, and care for you, hear you, let you vent better than somebody you know.
Mm.
But if I had a familiarity with you or I had something in common, because a lot of times we think, oh, we got something in common. No, that's you wounded, she wounded, he wounded, they wounded, and y'all just connected with that hurt. So
Mm.
you gotta get uncomfortable. If you don't feel uncomfortable, I I might be going out here when I say this, if you're not uncomfortable in your journey, you're not on your journey.
Oof.
And I'm
Oof.
That's facts. That's facts.
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're
That's
not
right.
uncomfortable, if it don't make you say ouch.
Right.
If it don't make you look at yourself and be like, dang, I'm petty. Like,
Yeah. Like what the fuck?
dang, I'm wrong. Like if it
Yeah.
ain't making you do that,
Mm.
you ain't on that. You
Yeah.
ain't healing.
I need to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
find me some strangers. Taking applications for strangers.
I think
All
y'all
right, be careful. You
Yeah.
gonna have that person in there talking about let me take care of you. Good, let me take care.
he
Let
petty.
me take care of you.
He real petty.
He petty.
Petty as hell.
Good, let me.
Because you do know Gertrude be looking for you. So
Hey, I know.
keep
Gertrude.
on.
Oh, shots fired.
Gertrude still trying to get you to come and
Gertrude,
sit
yeah.
their dinner and rub her knees with some
Gertrude,
bengay.
yeah.
So keep on, partner.
I ain't heard from Miss Gertrude in a minute though. So
Oh,
I ain't heard from Miss Gertrude.
mm.
And Miss what's the other one? Miss Bethel.
Miss whoever, but you that's who get them all. He get all the older
The church women.
seasoned crowd where he gets
Nah, they beyond
gets
seasoned.
his
They
fangs
almost
fangs
overcooked.
up.
They beyond seasoned. They all almost overcooked.
I'm done with him.
DW,
I'm done.
What?
don't be running our guests off.
I'm done.
You single. Gertrude might get your life right. She can understand that your needs is worse than hers. She gonna have some
Nah,
compassion.
Gertrude. Hey,
Y'all
but hey, I
both
bet.
rub each other down with Ben Gay.
Nah, I bet you her collard
They
greens
might.
be on point though. Her collard greens, fried chicken, and mother pork chops probably fire.
That's what I'm saying. You know you like to eat, so you better
Yeah, I
stop.
know. They probably
Stop
fire.
blocking your
Ooh.
blessing. Blocking
Nah,
your
that's
blessing.
no.
Just don't be stingy with the collard greens. Just
What
don't be
the old people say? They give you worms. Old people give you worms. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, we did used to hear that. I
Yeah.
used to hear that from our brother.
What the older people used to give us for worms? Beer.
Yes, they just.
I was having a conversation with my mother-in-law because she's Jamaican. She's from the islands. And so she was saying we were talking about words, right? I don't know why we talking about words, but we about to talk about words. But so in Jamaica they had medicine for it. And I was like, we ain't had no medicine in this country. They just said, here go this Heineken or this Budweiser, it's gonna kill the worm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she was like, to the kids, I said, surely did.
Yeah. Yeah. You right. I mean that or what that the common joke is either drink some ginger ale or put some tussin on it. Take this tussin. That either one of them you take one or the other supposed to cure it.
You know what? Now we sitting here talking about this, man. Yeah, that's traumatic. We remember they used to feed you goddamn Vicks Vapor Rub when you got sick and make you get up under the damn. Man,
and it clearly says do not digest on the jar, but they was feeding you Vicks.
I don't know.
Dramatic as hell.
They had these belief systems there. Oh my goodness.
And what's the
one thing and messing up something else?
What's the one other thing too? Oh shit.
Thank God
Castor oil.
We be Googling everything now.
Castor oil. That's it.
Castor oil. Oh my goodness.
Here, take you a teaspoon. No.
Yeah, castor oil. I think it was cod liver oil.
Man,
that was some nasty stuff. Okay, so we going throwback. So y'all remember this medicine? It was 666. They don't even make it no more.
Yes.
I wonder why.
Yes, it was the devil for real.
I promise you had a cold. I bet you won't have a cold tomorrow.
I bet not. You bet not. You won't have nothing tomorrow.
With that medicine.
Yeah.
They need to bring that back for COVID.
That medicine.
They need to bring that back for COVID for real.
When we was young, they didn't know no better. I don't think the older folks knew what they were doing.
Man. But then again, we still here.
Well, yeah.
It didn't
And
take
we-
a lot, but
And we ain't eating no Tide Pods either. So shit, it's doing something. It did something right.
you being real petty. You being real petty. You being real
I'm just
petty.
saying, like,
You,
Oh man.
yeah, you being real petty today.
how am
For
I being petty? It's the truth.
we're gonna be getting hunted because of you over here.
It's the truth.
We over here being petty. We finna get hunted.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
So definitely, we will definitely make sure we give Felicia's information for those that want help. She is definitely a person that wants that, wants to help, not take advantage, help. Also, even Derek. Derek gave his information on the and when he was on last week. We can definitely be posted that these are people that want to help. They are about healing this childhood, this trauma period, helping you grow and be a better you. Like I'm not gonna bring anybody on this podcast that has ill will, ill intentions, nothing, because I'm in the same place with y'all. I'm in a place where I'm trying to heal, I'm trying to grow, I want to be better, break generational curses. So, like, I'm not gonna bring anybody on here that's full of shit. I'm just gonna be 110, like, with you. Like, these are some really awesome people that we are bringing on for that. And Kim, we would definitely get you that info, definitely. But we are in a place where we as a Black community, we need to be better. We need to be greater, because in some aspect we're not living up to our full potential, because we do have trauma. We do have a lot of things that are holding us back, like from being the greatest part of ourselves. Definitely. I can say I'm guilty of that myself. So, like, yes, we are just on a journey. Like, let's get it. Like, for
Let's
real,
deal.
let's get it.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely, let's get it. That is really a lot of the basis for this platform. Like, man, ain't nothing about being embarrassed.
Mm-mm.
As we know, some people be like, hey, we don't do therapy. We don't.
That's
Yes,
a white
we
man
do.
thing.
Yeah,
That's
yes,
a white
we
man
do.
thing.
But you need to go sit on their couch though, because
Man,
something's wrong with you.
man,
Mhm.
because I know I
This-
cracked
this
jokes with Derek all the time. I was like, dude, I'm coming to your couch. I'm gonna have my tent and a refrigerator. I'm gonna be set up for a minute. Yeah, because he had us do the attachment quiz.
Oh, that was good. I know that was good.
Say,
That attachment is something serious. That stems from your childhood too.
exactly. So that was like when you talk
Is
about
that the one? Oh yeah, we talked about that,
that
one.
one. Yep, we did. We all three of us that are on the podcast did it, and it was like it for. I don't know. I'll speak for myself. For me,
Yeah, because I disagree with mine.
I don't. Somebody in denial about theirs. But for me, it confirmed some things that I already knew. But then it was like, hey, let me go ahead, like that flashlight, and shine the light on this part right here. But a lot of the stuff, it confirmed with my relationship, far as parents, friends, that kind of thing. And I was just like, woo. That's why I was telling Kim, yeah, that's I might need some alcohol. I'll be like, but it get real, and that's that open door when you find where you are and what your issues are, so that you can work to heal from those things. If you don't know how you're gonna heal from them, if you don't know the shit that you got,
All right.
we got shit. Our shit stink, as we was talking about. We got that. Like you can't just be sitting in sugar. You got to go through that shit to get to that sugar. Like, I mean, it just what it is. And if it's really about being honest with yourself, and if you can't be honest with yourself, who you gonna be honest with? I mean, social media, frequent family, friends. Hey, it's about you and you growing and being better. Like if they ain't on that trail, like Felicia clearly said, get you some strangers. Hey,
Y'all keep saying that. They motherfuckers gonna get the wrong stranger.
you know
Get
what?
you some strangers that's gonna help you grow.
Yeah,
You know what we
that's the
mean.
key. That's
Yeah,
the
now
key.
because you gotta be
You
specific
know
with
what?
some people. You gotta be
Remind me.
specific.
I have some few choice words for you.
Be
After
like, PK
remind
said,
me
get me some strangers, and I ended up with Pookie, and he took me. You be like, what?
We did
That
not
ain't
tell
what
you
I
that.
said. Right.
That
You be
is
like,
not
that
what I
ain't
said.
thank,
You
thank,
just
thank,
wanted to
exactly.
get Pookie because you wanted to get Pookie.
Exactly.
exactly.
So
You
you
see
gotta
how
be
you
specific.
see how he act like, and
You
he ain't
gotta
even
be
had
specific.
pancakes, and he acted like that. Normally
I'm trying
pancakes
to help
feel
you out. I'm trying to keep you out of a lawsuit. That's all I'm trying to do.
well.
Get
Keep you.
You know
strangers
you
that's
the
gonna help you heal,
there
help
you
Right.
you
go.
grow.
Get you some strength. Thank you, since we gotta put that out there with the public
Mm.
service announcement. Thanks to somebody, but we good. You our bodyguard. You got me and Pinks on the right. We good. You
Yes.
armed and dangerous and all that.
Yep.
All that. We
That's
covered.
all I'm saying. Yep.
Yeah, we covered. So we are good.
hmm
Jesus. Well, we gonna get
So
ready.
hey, let me ask you this.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna throw this out there to everybody. Then. I'm gonna throw this
Go
out
ahead.
there. On this journey that you are going on, what is the what is the most what is the most triumphant thing that you have accomplished?
Ooh, that's good. I like that question. The most, the most triumph. Well, I got just one.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, shit,
If
do
you
we got
got a
enough
list
time
of
for the
one
rest
on
of it?
that
Well,
list,
I can do one. So the most triumphant thing that on this journey was learning to love myself and all of me and accepting who I was and who I was created to be. Um,
mm,
because I spent a lot of time living how people portrayed me or what they said about me or living out how they talked about me. I was taught that I was never going to be nothing. All I was going to do is be dead or in jail. I was never going to amount to nothing. So I would, like my grandmother, she was like, oh, she an old devil. So my concept was um, show them, show them I can be the
mm,
worst of my worst.
right.
So when I got to that place in that journey of um, just like I've accomplished so much and triumphed so much, it was that loving me was the biggest thing for me because all my life I was told that I was unlovable, that I was
Mm.
ugly, I wasn't going to amount to nothing. So accepting who I was because I love me to the point I love me now because I'm able to relate to everybody and anybody. You could be on high on the corporate ladder, and I'm able to adapt and to be there with you as well as I'm relatable to those that are still in the hood and the ghetto because that's where I'm from. Because why I'm able to accept all of me that I'm me and everything that I've experienced in life, my environments, foster care has made me who I am. And I'm able to just love on people in spite of what they look like, who they are, and where they're at in life. And that's what makes me me. This what makes me Felicia. And that was my biggest triumph.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, for me, I don't personally think I've gotten to my biggest triumph yet. I think being about a year into this journey, I don't think I've gotten to that point yet. I'm still working on that very much. But I will say that one of the things um, that I will pat myself on the back for is the awareness. the awareness that it was like, you know what? You got some shit like a motherfucker over here. Like, you open that closet and the skeletons just keep coming out, and you just keep watching them fall out. And you're like, ooh, man. Y'all still falling out the closet. It's like watching an episode of The Walking Dead where they done broke down the fence and all them just coming through you. Woo. Yeah. Woo.
That's your win.
Yeah, that's
you-
like reality to get you to that point to where you know, like, I got some shit that I need to unpack and heal from, because the things that were done to me or the things that were traumatizing to me have caused me so much. And the second part of that also is when you get to that point of realizing and being okay with you having that and wanting to work on that. Because when you come out that part of when you gotta, I'm gonna say, strip down naked to the point that you realize I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. When you start coming into the awareness of, okay, I did this, but I did this because I experienced this, and you experienced this, and you see the causes and effect, and you're like, okay,
connecting the dots.
Yeah.
that cause and effect, like that's when you really do. Kim,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, that's when you really do start getting uncomfortable. Is when you are able to be naked and
Yeah.
see yourself and see the things that you've been through. And on that journey, it's some things that you might have just really pushed back
Yeah.
in the back of your mind. And when you start doing that work, and that other door, that other closet that you didn't know that was over there, and them other ones start coming, the other skeletons start coming out the closet, and you like, bitch, wait a minute.
Hey, where these came from?
Ooh, where the Uzi at? Because I didn't remember this. I didn't remember this happening. But some trauma, we just push back so far because we try our hardest to not to deal with it, because you really want to think, you're really thinking that you're getting over it if you forget it. But when you start on this journey of healing, and them mugs come up and they like, hey, girl, you forgot about me. Hey, girl, what's up? You like, oh, bitch. Oh, I didn't remember you. You didn't remember it then, but when that stuff, when you really trying to sleep too, and that memory then replayed in your mind, and you like, ooh.
Yeah.
Man, like, whew, yeah, it's. Hey, I would definitely say those things for me, but I still would honestly say I don't think I've hit the big one yet.
Gotta celebrate those wins.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Have to.
Definitely.
What about you?
Yeah, because I was finna go there too. Because you see how he got comfortable. Did you see like he
I
thought
was about to answer.
like? Did you see how he thought we wasn't gonna hit him? Like he got comfortable. Like, all right, that was y'all. Oh, flip.
What the hell ever? I was about to answer. I was letting you finish talking. Shit, let me talk.
That would be the first time you did that tonight without cutting somebody off. That you let somebody finish.
Anyway, we're not gonna do this right now.
Come with it. Come with
Nah, for me, it's just like understanding my thought processes, like understanding why I did things the way I did, and being okay, like not feeling like a failure, but understood that, okay, this is why I am here in this moment of time, blah blah blah. Because before I was just like, shit happened, just kept going, like. But now I'm like, okay, now this is why you think like this. This is why you do this. This is why, blah blah blah. So that's my biggest thing, just becoming self-aware of why my thought process. And not that. And then part two of that is like how I've been transferring that to the second generation, not just my children, but my players, the kids I coach, the kids I talk to, stuff like that. So I'm teaching them from experience, like, yo, you don't have to follow this same path that you're going on right now, because I already know how you're gonna end up. So before I was just like, well, that's on them. Now I was like, nah, bro, you gotta make a difference. So yes, yes, yes.
And one thing I would definitely say is while you're on this journey, please don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Ooh, don't beat yourself up. Don't guilt yourself into making yourself feel worse than you already feel. It, this is an uplifting journey.
Yeah.
It is for betterment and improvement, and you're not gonna do that if you're beating yourself up and putting
Yeah.
yourself into this guilt pool, because we know with the
That's
childhood
it.
trauma there's fear, there's anxiety, there's
Yeah.
depression, there's
You're gonna
insomnia.
have it.
Don't do that to
Yeah.
yourself.
That's good. Don't do it to yourself.
Yeah,
Don't do it to yourself. You're going to have bad days, and it
yeah,
is okay to have bad days. You're going to have days that you don't want to do it, but it's not about not doing or having those moments. It's about going through it and processing them and not staying in that moment.
yeah,
I agree with you on that one, TK.
yeah,
Don't do it.
yeah,
You set yourself up.
yeah. Definitely setting yourself up for failure. So
Yeah.
definitely, and I say that just from GP for myself. I think starting off that was one of my issues,
Yeah.
that I did beat myself up. And there was a person or two that I also allowed to beat myself up and set me back into that place of where they might have been that toxic person in my life where a lot of my childhood trauma came from, and they could say something to me. It's like you said, you got that person that just know that button just to push to just cause all the spiral. Like you that person is one of them people that you definitely have to work and deal with, because that's that toxic, that's that trauma. But that person knows that button to push to get you just to spiral all out of control. So you got to come with a place with that person to where, like Felicia said earlier, you got to, oh, okay, well, you know what? Bless you. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you later. You have to allow yourself
Yeah.
to have boundaries. It's
Mhm.
never too late to set boundaries with people. And I'm discovering, even at 43, how important boundaries really are. I'm like, damn, I didn't have no boundaries with this person. That's a lot of why me and that person is where we are, because there was no boundaries. Even with your parents, you got to set boundaries.
Yeah.
Think you don't, but you got to set some damn boundaries.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna take you there, especially if they know you like you know them. They're gonna take you there.
Indeed.
Some people want you to be on a downfall. They don't want to see you grow and change, and they don't want to see you better than them. So you have to really be at a point with that person to where you have to do a polite disconnect,
Mm.
and that's real. Like, yeah, that's some real stuff there. So, because we're coming up on this 2 hour mark, Lord. I don't know if we know how to do an hour long podcast. No, we don't. So, yeah, we don't. No, we don't. We don't. So, I ain't gonna let one long winded. But okay. So, Felicia, if you don't mind, before we close out, will you give your information? Let people know how they can contact you, because it's definitely already being asked for, and just give your whatever your outro is that you want to give.
Alrighty, alrighty. So you guys can find me all on social media, but I am mostly active on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at I am dot Felicia Johnson, Felisha Johnson is spelled the common way, Johnson. You can find me at healyourstory.live, and I would love, I am hosting a Life After Trauma retreat. in November, November 4th through the 6th. It is a beach retreat. We're going to do some rest. We're going to rediscover. We're going to reclaim some things. And we're really going to just get to that place of what we need to get to that next level in our healing. What do we need to get to the next level in our growth? Because, you know, we're coming up into a upcoming year, a new year, and we just need to be whole, like, and have an idea mentally, emotionally about our wellness. So if you are free, come on out to the Life After Trauma Retreat. Oh, I'm reading your comments.
Oh, you good? I see you.
So you can find me at I am Felicia Johnson on Instagram. I am dots Felicia Felisha Johnson Johnsson. And so if you want more information about the retreat, you can look up healyourstory.live and just go ahead and click beach retreat. I would love to see you there. And yeah, if you want anything for as coaching or one-on-one as well, healyourstory.live.
Yes.
And closing remark?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so TK touched on about just not beating up on yourself. And I would love to add to that because that is so important. Beating up on yourself is the worst thing that you can do in this journey. And like she said, sometimes you have to disconnect. And I will say this like this: disconnect from anything that come against your wellness, that takes you out your peace, that takes you out emotionally, that takes you out of character mentally, that takes you out anything that ain't peace. If it affects your peace, if it is touching that boundary line of your peace or your wellness, and you like, what is my wellness? Your wellness is your mind, your heart, your emotions, or anything that is connected to you. Don't even bother with it. Don't even try to engage with it. Don't even try to have a conversation with that person or that thing. Protect your peace,
Yes.
especially in this healing journey. You have to be, this healing journey is stingy. Like people be like, oh, that's not good. Yeah, it is, because I've been through some things. I've been hurt, I've been wounded. So I have to be stingy on with this journey because I have to get my wellness to a place where I'm feeling whole, where I'm feeling happy, where I'm feeling joy, that I'm feeling all these great things and not feeling like I'm stuck in my trauma and what I've been through. So that is my closing remarks. Thank you for having me, TK.
Yes. Thank you for being on. Yes. Whew. That just oh yes. Whew. DW.
I don't keep mine short.
You know how to do that?
How the hell both of y'all gonna laugh? What kind of shit? You know what? Anyway, so
I'm just a guest.
I know that's why I ain't gonna act up too much. So like we continue to talk about this. It's a journey, and in journeys sometimes you get lost. Don't give up. Sometimes it's gonna take longer for you than somebody else. Don't give up. Enjoy the journey because again, you are redefining yourself, which is wonderful because you get to see yourself, your ups, your downs, your wins, your losses. You're gonna fall, yes. You're gonna have shortcomings, yes. Don't stop. Don't stop. This is for you. And if nothing else, this is the legacy that you're leaving for the generations behind you. So I implore you to don't stop. And for those who haven't started, it's simple. Take that first step. That first step. Close your eyes and step. Just reach out there and say, "Hey, I got to do this." It's that simple. Now, as you can see, I never said it was easy. That you didn't hear that come out my mouth. So I don't want you to have that false that, oh, this is gonna be a breeze. No, it's not. No, it's not. But it's something that you can do. And For me, in light of the recent events that happened in my life, just since I've been over here, this it's been a good journey, and I'm glad that I started it because I understand now that life is short. You don't know when it's your time, so the time is now. See, that was less than 5 minutes. Booyah! Whoop! There it is.
Oh Lord. Well, all right. So I would definitely say thank you again, Felicia. Thank you, Derek, for introducing and having Felicia on your show. I greatly appreciate that more than anything. The new relationships that I am developing, positive relationships that I am developing, they mean a lot to me. Like for real, I've learned so much. Like, whew, Derek be having me on a roller coaster.
Be like that.
Ooh, I was like, "Ooh, Jesus!" But I'm learning, and I'm learning things that I did not know. So it's definitely a journey. It's an all around journey. It's just ain't a journey on healing. It's a journey on even learning and developing. And the more people that, like he said, we bring into this web and comes in, they all have this knowledge for you, and it's there, and they're not selfish with it. So that opens a whole nother door of just pure awesomeness. So I'm definitely loving where I am and the people that are coming into my life. I greatly appreciate that. Um, but please, like I said, don't be afraid. Don't be scared to reach out. I will not lie, I have stepped back from the light of helping people as much because some people are more draining in my life because they need more help than others. And one of my own thought processes with the situation is yes, I'm healing and I'm on this journey and I'm open to helping anybody with any information or anything that I know. But when I have a child with autism and y'all require more time than my child with autism, I'm gonna need you to go to a big dog. Real talk. So,
Protect your peace.
man, I'm saying because woo, I be like, ooh, Jesus, hold on, dog, like for real. So yeah, and I'm just being honest. But like Felicia said, peace, woo, peace is priceless. Woo, that is something I pray for on a daily because I want it and it's mine and it got my name on it. Because when you start getting that peace, man, peace is priceless. You get a little sip and you want more and you just keep wanting more. That's my new alcohol is peace because I that right there is on a totally different level. Like for real,
I
getting
don't even play with it.
man, getting
Hey.
peace in situations, man, for real. Y'all don't even understand. If you ain't had it, definitely try it and get it because it's a totally different thing. Um, but I definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Comments was off the chain tonight. I love and appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Next week we are doing we're doing cheating in the next room next week.
Oh, oh.
What you looking like that for?
Getting messy.
No. Yes,
I'm just-
Kim, check that retreat out. Because you're in Felicia, you're in Florida, right?
Yes, Miami, but it's going to be in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
See, there we go.
Oh
Hey.
shit, my hometown. Oh shit, now.
Oh,
Where y'all
Lord.
You're
going?
welcome to.
Where shit? I'm in Korea.
Oh,
Right now, yeah, he's in Korea. So
so
yeah.
you overseas.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
What you thought I? What thought I was on? Nothing. Anyway,
You gotta be slick.
Yeah.
Wait till you get off this live.
See, you already in trouble with the gas. See, you just don't act right, and they already be
look
knowing
here.
you.
Look here. I'm hungry now, and I don't know why. What happened? What y'all did? But my phone just turned on to a Chick-fil-A commercial. I'm like, mother, man,
And you can't even get Chick-fil-A.
golly.
Woo, it better be glad it's 10 o'clock because I would get some in the video myself eating it and send it to you. You're welcome.
And
So
I hope your Chick-fil-A sandwich is old, man.
Chick-fil-A don't do old food. They
Show
move
enough, don't
fast.
you know they be
Well,
on point.
For real, man.
anyway, we're
So
getting off
yes,
subject.
next week will be
Hold on, time out. Hold on.
Yep, Kevin, you right.
Kevin, hold on, bruh. Bruh. Don't start now. Won't be nothing.
He didn't have that 6 stack of pancakes with
All right, why you telling my
pieces
business?
of bacon and
Are you telling my business?
18 sausages and all that today. So yeah,
Are you
he's
telling my
hungry.
business? Are you telling my business?
Trying to
They
let
don't
them know
tune in for that. They don't tune in for that. They tune in for healing. We come to heal these people. The people's came to
I
heal.
think you need to go eat. Cause he
Oh Jesus!
need to go eat.
Oh Lord, yeah, Lord, he do. So yes, cheating in the next room next week. We know we got some cheaters and we got some people that give passes to people.
Ain't that like swinging, or is that what? What is it?
I don't know. I guess we got to tune
You got
in.
to tune in to see. Dun, dun, dun.
So yeah,
He come out at night.
man, I'm trying to tell you. So Felicia's information is definitely. I've also posted her IG information. Kim says she's already on it and she's already looking at the retreat. And this sounds so dope. So yes, that's what's up. That's why we do what we do. That right there. If we can help one person, man, I'm on like a whole different like level of cloud if we can help just one person. So so that just made my night. Definitely just made that was the icing to the already cake with the ice cream for my night. For real.
And y'all talking about me hungry. She done gave us a whole fucking food description. But okay.
You food sensitive right now. So I'm gonna let
I know. Man, that damn Chick-fil-A commercial got me heated. Like, I'd rather just show me a Burger King commercial, McDonald's. They ain't had to show Chick-fil-A. Next thing you know, I'm gonna get a damn commercial from Waffle House.
I ain't gonna even go there with Waffle House.
I don't even like it.
Nah, I don't either. I don't like Waffle House either. Okay,
That's Santi. That's my dog. That's what I'm talking about. Uh-oh, he done got in trouble. Them lips move too fast.
He'll come on my podcast trying to rush me and putting hands on the thing. He finna get his feelings.
Don't worry about it. That's just kids. Trust me.
He know. This is mommy's moment. I don't have a lot of moments to myself, but this is mommy moment. So yeah. But he good. I'm gonna let him make it tonight. He feeling himself. I'm gonna dock him 30 minutes on that game. We gonna be all right. Yeah. So on that note, we will close out. Please tune in next week. Definitely like, share, subscribe to the Facebook, to the YouTube, so you can get the notifications. Everything. I do post flyers and stuff, what's going on also during the week and little stuff. So definitely, and we got TikTok too, but they be trying to hate a little bit on TikTok though. Got to be a little strategic with TikTok. But on that night, we thank you. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you again, Felicia. We will be bringing
Thank you.
Yeah, we will be having you back. So on that note, y'all have a great night.
Appointed or chosen for this here time. I don't want what you got, I only want what's mine. This right here is for you that crossed the line. All up in the club screaming, dip, she mighty fine. Walking up to me, trying to cop a feel. Whisper in my ear, talking about your $1 million. Nah, that's cap, you got 1 million baby mamas. And Jazzy walked away cause she ain't even about the drama.